Hello everyone, I hope you are fit and fine. Today, in this video session, we are going to focus on the remaining part of the story, the souvenir. Souvenir means a thing that is kept or bought as a reminder of something. This is the story which was written by Lakshman Londe in Marathi as Bhet, and later on this story is translated into English as the souvenir. So till now we have discussed that how Sayli and her friends they reached to the moon, and now they went there to enjoy their holidays. And of course now we are going to discuss that how exactly they enjoyed their trip. So let's see without wasting the time the next paragraph here, that a jam-packed 3 days program awaited the children on the moon. So their schedule is so tight, and this is the 3 days program. It means after 3 days they were on the or they will be on return journey. And according to the earth calculation, on the moon there were 15 days of daylight and 15 days of night time. This is a scientific term. Let me explain you that like us or like the earth, we have 1 day of or 12 hours of the night and 12 hours of the day. But on the moon there were 15 days of daylight and 15 days of night time. वहाँ पे 15 दिन तक रात होती है और 15 दिन क्या होता है, उजाला होता है. So the 3 days of the trip were going to be part of the night time on the moon. It means when they reach there, this is the 15 days of the night time. जब वो वहां पे पहुंचे तो ये जो 15 दिन थे वो किस वक्त या कौन सा वक्त था, ये रात का वक्त था. यानी वहां पे 15 दिन तक रात रहने वाली थी. And of course, one of the most important programs of the first day was Skywatch. Remember, this is the program of 3 days. 3 दिन का प्रोग्राम है. And of course, on the first day, the program is there which is of Skywatch. यानी पहले दिन वो क्या करने वाले हैं? They are going to observe the sky. From which land? Moon's land. यानी मून पर से वो क्या करेंगे? Sky watch करेंगे. On the earth, it was usually foggy, and the stars were seen rarely and only very faintly. So this is our day-to-day experience, that whenever we looking towards the sky, of course, sometimes we see clear sky, but many times we have foggy night, right? Foggy means unclear or vague, यानी जहाँ कुछ अच्छी तरह से नहीं दिखता. foggy nights we have, right? And of course तब stars बहुत कम दिखाई देते हैं. They were rarely seen, right? And they often faint. They were not dazzling. Sometimes they were dazzling, but not all the time. There was no atmosphere on the moon. So this is very much important point here. I would like to tell you that there was no atmosphere on the moon. Like the earth, we don't have the atmosphere on the moon. So on the dark background of the moon sky, the stars shone dazzling bright. It means it's very important point I would like to make here, that on the dark background of the moon sky, the stars shone dazzling bright, and the color of the sky is also black because there is no atmosphere on the moon, and the stars shone dazzling bright. वहां पर से stars इतने dazzling bright दिखाई देते थे कि वो stars बहुत नजदीक है ऐसा लगता था. And of course the most attractive view was that of the disk of the earth. It means वहां पर से अगर हम अर्थ को देखें तो कैसा महसूस होता था? In the moon sky, the earth looked 13 times bigger than the moon in the earth sky. It means our earth looking 13 times bigger than the moon. And of course This is the huge planet which you can see from the land of the moon. It was also 70 times brighter. It means our earth is 70 times brighter looked there. यानी 70 गुना चांद से भी अधिक उजाला हमें किससे मिल रहा है? अर्थ से मिल रहा है. बिकॉज ऑल द फ्रेंड्स ऑफ साइली एंड शी where they were on the moon and the earth light fell on the moon. जैसे मून की रोशनी हमें यहाँ पे दिखाई देती है या फिर मून की रोशनी अर्थ पे गिरती है, उसी तरह से वहां पे अर्थ की लाइट जो है वो कहाँ पे गिरती है? मून पे गिरती है. दैट इज टोटली वाइस वर्सा ऑफ द अर्थ. And of course, this is very much important part here that all the stars were looking dazzling bright and our earth is looking 70 times brighter than the moon. And this is very much important point you have to remember here. In the next paragraph, let's see which kind of the things were there. This beautiful enchanting view made Sayli and her friends ecstatic. So here we have two new words, enchanting, fascinating. It means when they had seen this scenario, when they had seen these stars and the sky, how they felt? They felt enchanting. They were fascinated by the view of the moon. And Sayli and her friends, they felt ecstatic. Ecstatic means ravishing. They were extremely happy. They were in ecstasy. Ecstasy means this is the highest kind of the happiness because they were so happy. They fell asleep, feeling happy, excited, and comfortable at the same time, right? Because if you looked such kind of the scenario, if you got the chance to go to moon, think about your experience. So this experience is rare one, right? This is genuine kind of the experience. तो वो स्काई देखते हुए, स्टार्स देखते हुए कब वो सो गए उन्हें भी पता नहीं चला. And of course now they were feeling happy, excited and comfortable at the same moment. The second day's attraction was the circus on the moon. Think about the circus on the moon. Just imagine that you are on the moon and you are watching the circus on the moon. How it looks. Definitely it will be a great kind of the experience, right? So one unique feature of the circus was seating arrangement, because this is not the earth, right? Because gravity is totally different and the spectators were made to sit in the tent and the circus was going on outside. So this is the arrangement of the spectators यानी जो देखने वाले लोग हैं, right? Watchers. And उनकी जो उन्हें कहाँ पे बिठाया गया था? Their arrangement is in tent. तो उनके लिए एक टेंट वहाँ पे था. And of course this tent is artificially maintained, right? High jumps and long jumps were the special attractions. So in this circus, high jump and long jumps were the special attractions. Why? I will tell you afterwards. One gymnast jumped 27 meters high. Think about the jump. This is not possible on the earth. This is only possible on the moon. Why? Because gravity level is different. Due to that, the gymnast is able to jump 27 meters high. On both the days, besides the main attractions, much time was reserved for visiting the various settlements there. यानी उनका जो समय था इन 2 दिनों में, उसमें से बहुत सारा वक्त उन्होंने ऑब्जर्वेशन के लिए रखा था, जहाँ पे उन्हें मून पे रहने वाले जो सेटलमेंट्स हैं यानी वहाँ पे जो डेवलपमेंट हुई है तो उनका ऑब्जर्वेशन करना था. इट वॉज एक्सपेक्टेड दैट द स्टूडेंट्स शुड स्पेंड some time for self study. So they need to spend at least some time for self study. The teacher had assigned them the task of writing an essay on how they spent their time on the moon. So their teacher also gave them assignment, like we gave you assignment, right? So what is their assignment? उनका assignment क्या था? They need to write an essay. उन्हें एक essay लिखना था. How exactly they spent their time on the moon? यानी मून पे उन्होंने अभी तक का जो समय था वो कैसे बिताया था, तो उस essay में उन्हें लिखना था. So which places they visited, what they observed, etc. It means how many places they were visited, what kind of the things, what kind of the objects, or what kind of the development they had seen or observed, they need to write in that particular essay. So this is very important here, that on the second day they have the arrangement of the circus, and one of the gymnasts, how he jumped 20 20, so 27 meters high he was jumped, and that was the greatest jump ever, right? So in the next paragraph, Sayli and her friends had traveled far and wide and had done a lot of sightseeing. So this is a very important thing for them to observe all the things in these 3 days, because they have only 3 days. But on the third day, the teacher took them to a place of historical importance. So तीसरे दिन उनकी टीचर उन्हें एक हिस्टोरिकल प्लेस पे ले गई. हिस्टोरिकल प्लेस का मतलब जो प्लेस कहाँ पे है, मून पे है, एंड इट हैज a historical importance. 100 years ago, Neil Armstrong had landed at this place, or had landed at this place. So which place was there? So this is one of the future story. This is like the science fiction, right? And of course, after 100 years, it means now Sayli and their friend, they reached there after 100 years. It is assumed here, right? And that time before 100 years, Neil Armstrong, the first person who landed on the moon, his name was Neil Armstrong. You might heard about it. So you might hear about it, maybe. So everyone was looking forward to this visit to the historical monument. It was the oldest place in the history of man on the moon. So monument means commemoration, राइट. कमेमोरेशन मीन्स उनका जो स्मारक था, उनका जो स्टैचू था, तो वहां पे वो बनाया गया था. द फर्स्ट फुटप्रिंट ऑफ नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग वॉज प्रिजर्व्ड ऑन द मून लैंड. इट मीन्स उनका जो पैर है या पैरों का जो निशान है, जो पहली बार मून पे जब वो आए तो उनके पैरों के जो निशान है वो भी प्रिजर्व करके वहां पे रखे हुए हैं. दिस इज जस्ट द इमेजिनेशन. Beside the footprint was a grand statue of Armstrong. So beside that footprint which was preserved there, we have a great grand statue of Armstrong. वहाँ पे उनका बहुत बड़ा स्टैचू है. At the base of the statue were carved the first words uttered by a human on the moon. तो उस पे उनके स्टैचू पे कुछ लाइंस लिखे गए हैं. These are the words which were uttered by a human for the first time on the moon. ये वही वर्ड्स हैं जो पहली बार उन्होंने बोले थे. What was that? One small step for a man. इंसान के लिए एक छोटा सा कदम है, छोटी सी पहल है. But this is one giant leap of mankind. लेकिन पूरी मानव जात के लिए ये क्या है? This is the giant leap. ये बहुत बड़ी जीत है, राइट. द नेक्स्ट अट्रैक्शन फॉर द चिल्ड्रन वाज दैट दे वर गोइंग टू वेयर द स्पेस सूट्स फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. इट मीन्स आफ्टर दैट व्हेन दे visited this place, of course now they got the chance to wear the space suits, because now they were going to roam outside, क्योंकि अभी वो बाहर जाने वाले हैं, and they need to wear the space suits, right? Experiencing the gravitational force of the moon, यानी अभी वो मून की जो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स है वो महसूस करने वाले हैं, and so they need to wear the space suits. So this is very much important. This is the photograph of Neil Armstrong, the first person who landed on the moon. So let's see that how exactly they enjoyed the gravitational force of the moon. Be careful when you walk, dear children. Don't run or sprint, you will fall. The teacher was warning repeatedly, but who was in the mood to listen? They hopped, jumped, and ran around. It means, of course, many times we are also giving you the instructions. But many students, whenever they are on the holidays, whenever they are on the vacation, whenever they are on the trips, right, what they are doing? They are doing as per their mood. And these children are also doing the same thing. They were not listening to their teacher. And they hopped, jumped, and ran around. Hop means to jump up and down. वो उछल कूद करने लगे, एंड ऑफ कोर्स दिस इज द न्यू एक्सपीरियंस फॉर देम. So that time she heard, it means Sayli heard the voice, buy ornaments specially made from the stones on the moon, very cheap, cheaper than those available in the shops in the settlement. So साइली जब वहां से गुजर रही थी तो उसकी कानों में एक आवाज आई, एंड वन ऑफ द person is crying out that buy ornaments jewelry. इट मीन्स उसने कहा कि मेरे पास ज्वेलरी है. जो ज्वेलरी किससे बनी हुई है? विच वॉज मेड फ्रॉम द स्टोन्स ऑन द मून, वेरी चीप, चीपर देन दोज अवेलेबल इन द शॉप्स इन द सेटलमेंट. तो उसने कहा कि तुम वो सेटलमेंट में जो ऑर्नामेंट्स हैं तो उससे भी सस्ता, उससे भी अच्छा मेरे पास ये ऑर्नामेंट है. चीपर एंड बेटर, एटलीस्ट हैव अ लुक, एक बार देख तो लो. द रोड साइड शॉपकीपर स्क्रीम्ड एट द टॉप ऑफ देयर वॉइस because he would like to sell his product. And of course he said to her, he said to Sayli, buy sister, buy, I'm selling these earrings really cheap. तो उसने कहा कि बहन ये खरीद लो क्योंकि मैं जो इयरिंग्स हैं बहुत सस्ते में दे रहा हूँ. Saying this, he approached Sayli and displayed the sets of shining stones earrings. तो जैसे वो उसके पास आया तो उसने जो इयरिंग्स हैं जो कि वहां के स्टोन से बनी हुई है, जो बहुत चमकीली है, तो उसने उसको दिखाई. साइली सडनली रिमेम्बर्ड हर मदर, यानी जैसे उसने उस ऑर्नामेंट को देखा जो इयरिंग्स थे तो तब उसे अपने माँ का ख्याल आया. Tomorrow they were to start on their return journey. She had completely forgotten her mother in the last 3 days. It means since last 3 days she is experiencing new kind of the things. जब वो मून पे थी तो अपने माँ को वो पूरी तरह से भूल गई थी, because she is in joy, she is in ecstasy, right? And of course due to that she completely forgotten her mother, and due to that now she remember her mother. उसने सोचा कि चलो अपनी माँ के लिए इयरिंग्स ले लेते हैं, but she forgot the instruction of the receptionist, which gave them instruction that do not buy anything from the outside because outside shops were not authenticated. These shops were unauthorized, they don't have any kind of the license. So of course she felt terribly guilty. Why she felt terribly guilty? क्योंकि इन 3 दिनों में एक बार भी उसने अपनी माँ के बारे में नहीं सोचा, एंड ड्यू टू दैट उसे बहुत बुरा लगा. So she felt terribly guilty. But of course when these children enjoyed the gravitational force by wearing the space suits, they were extremely happy. They were hopped, they were jumped, they were doing all the kind of. So this is of course one of the new kind of the thing for them. So in the last, on the last side, let's see that this is not the last slide, one more slide is there. Let's see Buy this, sister, don't think much. Cheaper and better. Take it. Now, this shopkeeper insists to Sayli to purchase it, to purchase these earrings. Sayli looked around. The other children had proceeded ahead. तो बाकी के बच्चे तो बहुत दूर निकल गए थे. And now Sayli is alone. And of course, she said to that shopkeeper, "Come on, give me those red earrings. Quick." What was the color of the earrings? So red was the color. And Saidi pointed at them and asked, "What's the price?" So only 1000 rupees, replied the salesman. So this salesman said to her, "The price of this ornament or the earrings is 1000 rupees." Saidi immediately paid the amount, took the earrings and ran to catch up with her friends. उन्हें जल्दी जल्दी में उसने 1000 रुपए दिए और उसने वो इयरिंग्स खरीद लिए. एंड नाउ शी रैन टू कैच अप विथ हर फ्रेंड्स. तो अपने दोस्तों दोस्तों के पास वो जल्दी से चली गई. ऑन रिटर्निंग होम, साइली टोल्ड हर मदर वेरी enthusiastically, "Mummy, look what I have brought. What I have brought for you." Her mother picked up the earrings. She exclaimed, "Hello, dear. How am I going to wear such heavy earrings?" Sally immediately realized her mistake. So, do you know what kind of the mistake she had done? So, she had done one of the mistake here because she had purchased that earrings in the gravitational force, in that gravity, and in that gravity it was lighter because moon's gravitation is 1 of 6. Do you remember that? So we have already discussed about it. And now these earrings have the weight. These earrings now they have the weight, and of course now it's not possible to wear in the ear now. So that is impossible kind of the thing. And she immediately realized her mistake. And Saili had purchased the earrings in the field of moon's gravity. So that was the mistake she had done. Because अगर वो इयरिंग्स उसने उस सेटलमेंट से खरीदी होती तो वहां पे उसे अच्छी इयरिंग्स मिली होती, लेकिन उस सेल्समैन ने उसे यहाँ पे फंसाया है, राइट? बिकॉज अभी उसका जो वेट है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है और इतने वेट का इयरिंग तो कानों में नहीं पहन सकते. सो दैट वाज द थिंग हियर यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द स्टोरी द सुवेनियर. दिस इज an imaginary story, and of course we have many details which are new for us. Many experiences of the Saili are new for us. Maybe in the future is possible to go to moon for vacation. Is possible. This is not impossible kind of a thing, because for human beings nothing is impossible, right? So with this last line I'm going to stop here. Thank you everyone. Stay home, stay safe, stay tuned.